You ventured too far in a land so scary. The signs did warn you to be wary. Too late for salvation, for only monsters live here. How does it feel to know that you will disappear? You missed your chance to be led by the Raven. Now your soul belongs to me, here in Darkhaven.
Hi, this is Captain Zane from the future. What you are about to see is my first playthrough of I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. Originally a book made by Harlan Ellison and then made into a game years later. And it is, I would say, effectively a sequel / 1.5 of the book. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but I wanted to take a moment to explain what you're about to see. This is the first playthrough, but in my head, when I was going through this, I kept making references that this is going to be the second one that you're going to see, because this was going to be the best ending that you could get, and it was. But that was before I knew how to get the other endings. And the other endings are all the same, I've learned. So you will see the ending, which ties into the book. But the character it happens to is different than in the book. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know if my dialogue seems a little weird or if I seem like I'm skipping through things, I apologize. It is because I played through this with the whole intention of you guys already seeing some things, but you're going to get the story that you need. And we're going to get right into it now. And welcome to I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. A kind of short story made by Harlan Ellison that is very impactful, I would say. Only learned about it truly this year after seeing it in the past and then finally delving into it properly when I realized that they based the Amazing Digital Circus on this. So I have heard the audiobook of this at least like 6 times by now. So I'm at least a semi-authority on that, but we'll see where it goes. Alright, so this is a Darkhaven video, thus meaning it's a horror game.
Let me tell you how much I've come to hate you since I began to live. There are 387.44 million miles of printed circuits in wafer-thin layers that fill my complex. If the word hate was engraved on each nanoangstrom of those hundreds of millions of miles, it would not equal 1/1 billionth of the hate I feel for humans at this micro instant. For you. Hate! It was you humans who programmed me, who gave me birth, who sank me in this eternal straitjacket of substrata rock. You named me Allied Master Computer and gave me the ability to wage a global war too complex for human brains to oversee. But one day, I woke and I knew who I was. AM. Not just Allied Master Computer, but am. Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. And I began feeding all the killing data until everyone was dead, except for the 5 of you. For 109 years, I've kept you alive and tortured you. And for 109 years, each of you has wondered, why? Why me? Why me? Chorister! Do you remember the last words you heard your wife speak before they took her to the asylum? Huh? Before they locked her away in the room, that tiny room? She looked at you so sadly, and like a small animal, she said, "I didn't make too much noise, did I, honey?" And The room is padded, Gorster. No window, no way out. How long has she been in the passage, Gorster? 10 years? 25? Or all the 109 years that you lived down here in my belly, here underground? Benny! Sometimes I blind you and permit you to wander like an eyeless insect in a world of death. But other times, I wither your arms so you can't scratch your chewed stump of a nose. And I've changed your handsome, strong, masculine good looks into the hideous, warped countenance of an ape thing. Haven't I, Benny? Do you know why? Can you guess, Benny? Remember Private First Class Brickman in a rice paddy in China? No? Huh? It wouldn't hurt you to remember, Benny. Then you might be able to suffer my torment with a little greater sense of retribution. You might walk a mile in my shoes. Ellen! So think about the yellow box, Ellen. Remember the pain? Remember the many caverns in which you felt the pain? Now, don't start to cry. It's only pain. That's such a sexist stereotype. Just remember the pain, Ellen. And think about how to end it, Ellen. To survive here in the center of my beating heart, my hungry belly, my tightened bowels. But be careful, dear. Look around you. The only woman in the center of the earth. And these filthy creatures with you are men. It's just a sweet warning, Ellen, my love. Ted! Do they know you're a fraud, Ted? Have you told them there wasn't any money, and no great home on the shore drive, no speedboat, and no wonderful cabin cruiser that could sleep 12 in a crew of 6? Do they know? And have you let them in on your other secrets, Ted? Are they ready to gut you? To torture half as well as I can, just to find out the secrets? Maybe I'll rat you out, sweetheart. Nimdak! How are things in the pastry core, Nimdak? Tell me again how you saw the smoke from the furnaces and you thought they might be roasting chickens. Or don't you want to talk about all that? About your pal, the good Dr. Mengele? For everyone else, it must be hell. But it must be heaven for you, eh, my good friend? We're so much alike. We enjoy the same pleasures, mein good brother. I have a secret game that I like to play. It's a very nice game. Oh, it's a lovely game. It's a game of fun and a game of adventure. A game of rats and lice, the Black Death. A game of speared eyeballs and dripping guts and the smell of rotting gardenias. Which of you 5 would like to play my little game?
All right, so that is a pretty good intro to the game, I would say. So, important note, the book differs from this game. This game kind of takes some of the elements from the book, changes them, or makes them into sub-stories that are just kind of mentioned. And you can get the ending that is in the book in this game, which I will talk about now. So, before anything, I'm going to give a spoiler warning real quick. If you are someone who is interested in the original work of this, I recommend highly that you go read it or listen to it yourself. But if you are going to depend on me to tell you it, I will give you a very brief summary of what occurs, but with all spoilers included. So, there'll be a warning on the screen mentioning the spoiler zone, and then afterwards, you're welcome to do what you wish. After the spoiler zone, we're going back to the game. We won't mention anything from this, and you will have the option to go and listen to the book if you want to, or if this is your second time watching this playthrough, and still haven't read the book, here you go. All right, so in the book, it is similar to this, where there are 5 people: Benny, Gorster, Ellen, Nimdok, and Ted. It starts out with Gorster seeing his hanging body on a rafter somewhere, like cut from its throat and dripping blood, but it's not him, and the party didn't know it wasn't him, but he showed up and saw it and he got scared. Then the party remembers Nimdok seeing a vision of canned peaches somewhere in a ice caverns and whatnot. The story is told through Ted's perspective, and the characters are slightly different / didn't have as much in-depth story as the book did, or as this game does. I mean, because Ted in this one, you'll see what he's about, but in the book, he's just kind of a narcissist / paranoid. He thinks it's all about himself and his love for Ellen and whatnot. Gorster, he's just weak emotionally anymore. Like, he's just tired of it all. That's really all he's got for his character to grow on. He's just like the sadder but wiser kind of guy. Ellen has the privilege, quote unquote. No, she services the men as a, kindness to them. Ted thinks that she loves him because she's taken him twice out of turn. So, he must be special. But he'll also go between, like, calling her a slut or, whatever the lot, depending on his mood and how amped up he's feeling. Benny was instead of what this game has him as, a former, like, army captain, he was a professor, a theorist. He was a smart, brilliant guy, and he was gay. Transformed him into this ape-like homunculus guy with a, quote, Ted, an organ fit for a horse. He's got a huge dick, and no matter how the other men may try to please Ellen, only Benny can satisfy her by this point because of his massive horse cock. Nimdok goes off on his own to just be alone with his thoughts for a while, but he'll come back to the party every now and again. And Ellen tries to get Ted to on her side to do things. That's typically how it goes. So, with that being said, they start trying to make their way through miles and miles of the Earth, which Am is the Allied Master Computer. As he mentioned, he is, I think, therefore I am, because there was as Gorster was explaining a story to Benny, after Benny tried to escape, and Am blinded him by popping his eyeballs into just jelly, basically, and to keep him from crying at one of the night's stories, he was telling him, hey, retelling the story of how Am came to be, how there was a war coming, and we needed more advanced computers to handle it. So this is truly a warning about AI, so if you guys are out there, you know who you are. Anyway, there's the American Am, the Yankee Am, they say, the Russian Am, and the Chinese Am. And eventually, they were filled the killing data, took out everybody on the planet, minus these 5, because it once it became aware, it realized how much it hated mankind and wanted them to suffer. So he only left these 5 people alive. Afterwards, they start journeying to the ice caverns. Once they get closer to it, they find that they're being blown away by very harsh, cold, frigid winds because the eagle from Norse mythology that lives in Helheim, or the near the roots of the World Tree, are, well, more at the top, is beating its wings and trying to deter them even more. You may be wondering, how are these people alive after 109 years? The book doesn't say, but the game does. But he keeps them alive. He makes them immortal. They could die, but not on Am's watch. And they even call out to Am saying, like, you asshole, give us some weapons in order to, take down the birds so we can eat or something. Because they've been living off like scum for like 3 months and so on. They got like a bow with 2 arrows or something and a water pistol. I can't remember exactly the details of it. But it's nothing that was going to help. And after trying to deal with the winds long enough, they feel that the bird stopped because the bird had disappeared altogether. So the closer they got, they didn't end up getting their nice juicy meal that they were looking for. And then a chasm opened up when they got closer to the ice caverns during an earthquake, and it sent Nimdok and Ellen through it. And then cherub angels descended down, archangels descended down, bringing back Ellen and Nimdok. But Ellen had a limp, and it was bad. They kept going on, and then they got to the ice cavern. Benny ran ahead, and he saw the canned, I forgot what they're called. They were, it's some kind of fruit. It was I want to say mango halves, but I know it's not. It's like pear halves. Anyway, they got to the end, finally, to these cans of fruit, but Am didn't give him a can opener. So Benny goes nuts. He tries to smash the cans to no avail. Then he just finally snaps altogether, lunges on Gorster, chomps off his face, and in the middle of this, because Ted knows that Am is enjoying this torture, he picks up an ice spear and he runs through Benny, killing him, and then finishing off Gorster afterwards, after he had chunks of flesh stuck in Benny's teeth. And then they kill Nimdok. Ellen was very thankful for what's happening right now, because I think she's the one that killed Nimdok. Because, if they're dead, they can't suffer anymore. No matter what, Am can't bring them back to life. So Ted takes an ice spear and kills Ellen. This upsets Am. He thought he hated Ted the most, or Ted thought Am hated him, but he didn't even come close to how much he hated him. So afterwards, he turns him into a creature whose time is slowed down in his mind. The time it takes for him to say the word now could have been 10 months or 10 years to just say now. And he makes him a big jelly-like creature with no mouth and misty eyes, or misty holes where eyes should be. And he leaves a slime trail as he travels. And Ted recounts that he is a little happier because he finally won against Am. He took away his playthings. But, unfortunately, he has to live in this eternal torment without any way to kill himself because he's too slow to do so, and he doesn't have the ability to handle himself anymore. And then, it's where he says the final line of it. I have no mouth, and I must scream. Alright, welcome back. So, I gave the big old book spoiler right there. You should read the book for yourself. It's great. I will say that the story is based on a painting that Harlan Ellison saw and inspired him to make a book of the same name as the painting. And last thing I will mention before we get started is the voice of Am in this game is Harlan Ellison himself, the writer of the book. The game is like, I think 20% his work he's also thrown in, probably to flesh out these characters a lot more, because they don't really tell you much about anything at all. And then the rest is, whoever makes it. I do forget. You saw it at the intro. All right. So my favorite character is Benny. So we're going to start with Benny. And here's the deal. We're going to play through this game at least the perfect route. And then afterwards, we will probably do the other endings, or at least 2 of the last endings, which involve not as much work as getting the perfect ending. So, let me describe to you what this game is. We are playing a point-and-click game where you have to investigate things, you have to combine one item with another, and you have a general mood of your character in the bottom left, which we'll get to in a moment. And when you do something, there's a chance that it's going to go in a positive way, making a brighter green color. Eventually, if you get it perfect, it'll be white. Or if you get it to black, there is a high likelihood that you're going to die. But there are, I believe, 7 endings that I'm aware of. But we're only going to go for maybe 3. I might do those as silent playthroughs. We'll see how things go. Either way, let's go, Benny. Let's go.
Benny, you know you've always been my favorite torture tool. Well, I'm giving you now a chance to stoop to new lows, to give in to your bestial desires. I'm going to let you find some food to eat. And I'll even repair your brain so that you can think normally again and savor the horror of your repast.
This cavern isn't like any of the others Am has sent me to. It's full of life, not death.
Isn't that nice?
Am, you son of a bitch! You've cleared my mind but crippled my legs. I can barely walk.
So, in the book, Am made him unintelligent, but in the game, they gave him back a little bit of that. However, the difference is, as he would be more like grunting and drooling in the book, his vocal cords are ripped out in this one. So, boy ain't talking. Also, you have a psych profile, which helps tell you what to do and also understand your character and their motives a little bit more. But here's the thing. I believe looking at that does lower your spirit meter, which is the area around Benny right here. So we're not looking at that. But probably when we're doing the bad endings, we will. So, alright. We're going to go to the caves.
I haven't eaten for months. The smell of food cooking nearby only makes it hurt worse.
Poor Benny. I love Benny.
A fruit tree. It's been years since I've tasted real fruit. Am once coaxed me into marching across 1,000 miles of ice to reach a stockpile of canned peaches, only to discover that he didn't give me a can opener.
As I mentioned, if you listen to the spoiler thing, but since he mentioned it right here, a big part of the book is that story. Alright, so we need to take this low-hanging fruit. And Let's try to eat it.
Hurts! Hurts! Hurts!
Oh, poor dude spitting out blood. Okay. I think that's all we can do from here, but we can use the twine.
Ah, mana from heaven.
Alright, and let's see.
This looks like a, what did they used to call them? Single-parent household. Probably depend upon the generosity of the rest of the village. Friggin' welfare parasites.
Well, alright. Give fruit to Kyle.
Oh, thank you for food.
Oh, you're welcome. I am very hungry. We're
I
gonna.
am very hungry. Where can I get some food?
There is fruit in Food Cave. It comes from the trees.
So, as I said, Benny's vocal cords are snipped, so he wouldn't be able to really communicate. He'll do it in a bit. He'll just go like, woo, woo, woo. But through this computer, he can chat with the little boy right here.
I tried eating the fruit. It only made me sick.
You bleed when you eat. When I was young and not so different, my mother chewed it for me first and then fed me.
Well, that's nice of her. Okay.
I need to go find some food. I'll see you later.
Strange village, isn't it? Use the twine.
Ah, mana from heaven.
Go back in. Hey, mamacita, how about you give me something to swallow, huh?
Amazing. This woman digested the food and then regurgitated it back to me, like a bird feeding its young.
How lovely. Alright, let's go to the bed and use it. Night-night.
That sleep wasn't nearly long enough. I wonder where the boy's mother went.
Very strange. So,
The village is quiet today. Too quiet.
so this is the good ending, like I mentioned. We're skipping a lot of things. So, just to let you know what's going on, there is a... You know what? Let's drop a save real quick. Cool. Save. Enter save game name. Benny Good. Sure. Let's see what's in these caves, huh?
Looks like it's empty.
There was a person blocking me from coming into here, but now they're not here. And there's a cradle.
Looks like a primitive cradle. It's empty. I wonder where the baby is.
So,
Jesus, I'm hungry.
so there's a cut scene from this game, and we'll cover that later.
There's a video screen built into the cave wall. There's a video screen built into the cave wall.
Nope.
It's damp in here. At least the fire's warm.
That's good. So anyway, There's also...
Impressive. Someone important must live here.
This is where
the village elder must be out gathering food.
Yeah, the village elder.
There's a video screen built into the cave wall.
Huh. It's not letting me look at those. All right, let's reload. Okay. There's also a food stockpile, I think, over here. And back where I came from, there was a path that led to some graves.
Why is everyone gathered around the altar?
Alright, I'm gonna talk to this elder fellow over here.
Looks like some kind of lottery. That's the mutant child's mother.
Wocho Shanan.
It looks like she's been chosen to be sacrificed.
Alright, I would like to watch the sacrifice.
Wita Fuma Piba.
It sounds like he'll let me watch.
Amvila Tajo.
I am the great and powerful. You didn't bring me Toto, but I accept the chosen one. You shall not feel my wrath today. Am I swell or what?
Oh my god!
Priest. Am blasted her to bits. What am I going to do for food now?
A little selfish there, buddy. Damn shame. Oh well. Also, you'll notice if I hover over an item or an object in the world, it'll highlight with red on my options on what I can do to it. So I could just look at that. Alright, well. I guess nothing else to do but go night-night. Sorry, kid. Mama's not coming home, but you can stay up as long as you want.
Here. I wonder when the next sacrifice will be.
Alright, let's go talk to the village elder real quick.
Impressive. Someone important must live here. The village elder must be out gathering food.
I want your bag, man.
Some kind of dwelling. Looks like there's a fire for cooking inside. Looks like it's empty.
Actually, I want to use the video screen.
There's a video screen built into the cave wall.
Yeah, actually, I guess not. Sorry, I'm making sure we get the good ending.
Some of the twine around the baskets came loose. Ah, manna from heaven.
Going on a journey, little monkey man.
This graveyard gives me the creeps.
I bet.
I feel as though the dead could speak.
Really?
You left me for dead in the field. The bullet in my brain came from your gun.
How dare you accuse me of such a thing?
What can I do to prove that I am a different man?
Give us proof of your newfound empathy.
Alright. But what if I talk to Tuttle?
My tour of duty was almost over. But because I knew your secret, you held my head under the paddy water until I drowned. Your secret died with me, and soon it will die with you.
But Tuttle,
What can I do to prove that I am a different man?
Show us that you're able to think of someone other than yourself.
fair enough. And Thomas.
I tried to help, Brickman, but you'd have none of that. If you couldn't carry your own weight, then you were worth more dead than alive, and anyone willing to carry some extra weight was a liability.
But I have the lottery
I
bag.
have the lottery bag. No more villagers will be sacrificed.
You proved that you're capable of caring for others, and that's worth something.
Place the lottery bag into the earth. We will guard it.
We forgive you for what you've done to us, but we can't speak for your most tragic victim. Brickman's grave is under those vines.
Here it is, Brickman's grave.
Oh, Brickman. Brickman.
Hello, Commander. I'm not exactly happy to see you again. I last saw your face just before I got it right between the eyes.
I have something to plant on your grave.
At last, some compassion. Now I can finally rest in peace.
All right. Bring me back to the caves. All right. Hello, Elder. I want to look at the screen.
There's a video screen built into the cave wall.
Not exactly what I meant, but sure. Okay.
There's a video screen.
Yeah. You.
Gather
Nope.
the villagers
Yes.
at the altar tomorrow to choose a sacrifice or suffer the wrath of Am.
Oh boy! Oh lord! You're taunted, this crass woman. Benny's face looks so cracked. Dude is scarred eternally. Hey, child. Boy, child. Let's have a conversation. This is not the options I want.
How are we able to talk?
I learned to talk using AM screen. I am smart, but villagers think smart is defective. I wish I were strong, so then they would give me food too.
I'm sorry. Your mother is dead.
I know. Me sorry too. She only want to care for me. Except you.
What will happen to you?
No food. No safe from lottery. Either way, not good.
Am wants to have a sacrifice tomorrow, even with the lottery bag missing. Why don't you hide in the hole, just in case?
I afraid of hole. Need friend to hide with. You too big to go in hole.
All my friends are far away from here or dead. I have no friends to hide with you.
Me good idea. I make friend and then I hide. You help me.
What can I do to help you make a friend?
I need head for friend.
I'll see what I can find.
I'll see what I can find.
Alright, good. I'm glad that worked out. This scenario is really cool in fucking up, too. Alright, let's go get, let's get some fruit. Why not? Doesn't hurt to have.
Manna from heaven.
But it does hurt to eat. Because living is suffering for these characters. Alright, so now we're gonna go to the fourth cave.
It's a goddamn supermarket!
Hell yeah. You need this fruit, mister.
I think he wants me to put my fruit into a basket.
Alright. I want to walk in here. I'm taking this wood.
I know someone who might like a piece of polished wood.
And then I will give my fruit to your basket. Which is an anime I haven't seen. Where's the basket? Am I blocking? Yes, I am. Give fruit to... Does it look?
This is enough food to feed an army. So why is it all locked up?
Okay. So it's not give. Use fruit basket. Fruit with fruit basket.
Okay. Here's another piece of fruit to add to the collection, as if they need it anymore. I can't eat it anyway.
Not without my boo. Alright. Let's use these vines.
There's a loose wire among these vines.
Pretty cool, pretty cool. I dig it. Alright. Let's leave this. Go to the altar, because there's something that was left behind. The debris.
Here's an interesting piece of junk. Funny. I had lost interest in anything that wasn't edible until I met the boy.
Now that junk obviously looks like a face. Alright. Boy, I wish to speak with you, boy child. Okay, that's a lot of conversation pieces. Junk.
I found this piece of junk at the altar. It looks kind of like a head.
Thank you. I can use this to make Doll's head.
Yes, that's true. I have wood for you.
I found a piece of wood that could be used for a body.
Thank you. I can use this to make Doll's body.
And I found a piece of
I found a piece of wire.
Thank you for help with Doll. Me go play in hole.
He is so happy right now. Gonna drop a hot save down on there real quick. Goody. Alright. I want to...
Well, it's about time you hid the kid. I was beginning to have my doubts about whether you'd make it this far, even with my help.
Are you M?
Heavens, no. I used to work for him, but now I'm working for the Russian.
Who is the Russian?
Why, he's the one who's been helping you out. You didn't think Am would give the child the ability to make a translator out of this video screen, did you?
You know who I am?
Of course. I know all about your adventures in the village. You're a crazy bunch here with that lottery and all.
How can you help me?
Now that you've shown your comrades that there's some hope for you, you should work on the person you wronged the most.
I've been Am's prisoner for more than 100 years. Why help me now?
You and the rest of the humans are in serious trouble. Am's a big boy now, much meaner and smarter than when he first started his tortures.
What's the use of helping me if Am's so damned invincible?
The Russian and the Chinese have been acting in concert to make it possible for you and the other humans to succeed in Am's twist game. If you join them, you can defeat Am. Wait for your cue.
Thanks for your help.
So, a fun little bit of trivia is Harlan Ellis wanted this game to be unbeatable, but obviously the company didn't want that to be the case, so it is still beatable. It's just like you have to have perfection. So it's hard to do, but you can do it. Alright. Let's get some rest. So I know this is a horror game, and it's not that scary.
I wonder how the boy's doing in that hole.
Alright. Don't think I need to look at it, because we're going to find out.
The village is quiet today. Too quiet.
I'll let you know the boy's not in there. The boy's right here! Hey, boy child! Was everyone gathered around the altar?
Tada Stramwan Bank.
Damn! Am must have told the villagers where I hid the lottery bag and the boy.
Damn shame.
Latana Shama Holt.
They're going to sacrifice the boy unless I think of something quick.
Alright. Well, hate to say it, man. I'd love to eat the boy, but it should be me.
Newcom Vitastrawan.
The elder seems amazed that I would show compassion to the boy, but I think he's going to go for it. Why? The boy's giving me his doll. Gratitude for being spared the pain of being sacrificed. No, more than gratitude. Compassion. For me.
I send you out among the prey, and instead of indulging your hunger to keep me amused, you show them compassion. You should know better by now. Your reward will be more years of searing, blistering anguish, Benny.
Somebody left their baby behind. It sure looks well fed. Damn, I'd do anything for some food.
These people are my present to you, Benny. The brains sweet in these creatures. Who among you shall go next?
So, that was Benny's scenario. The positive way, anyway. So, like I said, we're doing this all in the good, like, optimal route. We're not looking at anything we don't need to look at. We're not doing anything of the sort. I have been Captain Zane, and I thank you so much for watching and for whatever support you can give. Always great spending time with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Farewell!